Hi guys, what's up? Roddy from Barberco with you again. We're just taking another look at the Legend. We've already had a couple of looks at this. We've discussed the Legend versus the Icon and the various differences, albeit not many but significant. And we've discussed the fact that the Legend and the Icon motors are very similar, and the main reason that you would change over to a Legend from an Icon is mainly for fading. So looking at square on the blade, we have longer teeth for a greater feed of hair. And then when you look sideways, we've got a finer point on the blade and a smoother run down to the point. They're a bit similar to the balding blade, but the balding blade is purely for removing hair completely from the scalp because there's virtually no feed at all on the blade. So you can't fade with that blade, but you can certainly fade with this. Look at the arcing of the taper adjustment lever. Actually arcs to below the level of the base plate of the clipper. And if we compare that to the Icon, just quickly, which we've touched on this already in a previous video, but in this video we're just gonna watch it in action. If you look at both and we arc the Legend back and we arc the Icon back, the lever doesn't go back as far as the Legend. So benefit of that is for fading, and we're going to do a fade in our model now. We're going to run the blade right up in its fully open position, and then we're going to come back and fade it down and fade it down and fade it down till we can get to a zero cut. And that is the purpose and the reason for changing over from the Icon to the Legend. And the Icon's always been quite a powerful clipper, and the Legend's no different. And you know, it doesn't pull at all. It actually cuts really smoothly. So we're in our fully open position at the moment, and we're just marking in our overall, like the length that we want the hair to be at the top of the fade. And then we're going to come back in and we're going to fade the hair down. So I'm going to adjust it in probably subtly, but 20% off. Come back in. I'm just going to bring it in a bit more. Always flicking the clipper away from the scalp at the point where you want to blend in to the longer length. Always flick up and past. Don't flick up and come back out. You just want to flick up and away. And there's a lot of sense to the saying, if you don't put the line in, you don't have to put the line out. So then coming from that halfway point, we're just going to go a little bit more. We're still not in the closed position. And notice I'm flicking. And when you're doing these types of haircuts, don't be afraid to pull the scalp tight. Gives you a better look at what you're doing, and it helps you to cut with more accuracy. And this fade's looking pretty awesome actually. I'm down to the zero position now. I'm just fading off around the hairline. And there's nothing to stop you from fading with any other clipper. It's just that the benefit of doing it with this clipper and the blades that it's giving us, it's allowing you to take in those lengths a bit more gradual from a much longer position. Because you've got to remember that back in the old days when we were fading and doing the old school short back and sides, we didn't have the benefit of attachments that we have these days. So this clipper is taking us back to the old school, where you really are just using your clipper and your comb, and that's all you're using. And this Legend clipper is proving to give really awesome fades. So I faded that down from probably just slightly longer than a half, like it's almost a 1 in that open position, and I've flicked it away from the scalp and it's sitting quite nicely, and I'm pretty happy with that as a fade. I've done all that without the use of numbers, just a freehand fade. The Legend clipper, an awesome fade clipper from Wahl. Thanks for watching.